You said, well, I'm worried about some laws Congress should pass. I have to ask, what laws are you talking about? Can you be specific?
I'm sorry, I'm very nervous, but
Hey guys, welcome. Today we are looking at a video from Charlie Kirk, which is Gail tries to subtly flash Charlie Kirk to get him banned on YouTube. I can't wait to watch this one with you, and I'll be giving my comments to the video. Let's jump straight into it.
do you feel proud of yourself for debating college kids who are unprepared to speak in front of an audience like yourself? Hold on. You're 30 years old. We can agree you're 30 years old, right? Do you think that's a little bit silly?
Are you a voter?
I am a voter. I'm a
So
registered
I
voter.
vote and you vote. So I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization. That's what I'm doing here today. Yeah? Wait, hold on. How is it any different than a professor talking to you?
Then a professor talking to you? Who are you?
Well, important enough for you to come up to a microphone.
Actually, when I first saw this ad, I thought it was like an improv comedy thing. It looked so ridiculous that I didn't even think it was real.
Well, no, you could see. Look how popular Trump is on your campus. How does that make you feel? That's not comedy. That is a 5-alarm fire for Kamala Harris because she's probably going to lose Pennsylvania.
Look,
You are 30 and you're talking to college kids? I mean, that's a childish argument. This girl should be embarrassed of herself. Come on. Well, let's watch the video further.
But no, I just want to be clear. Is there something wrong with talking to voters?
no, there's nothing wrong with talking.
Well, that's
to
what we're doing
voters.
here today. It's an open
I
mic,
think that you push a dangerous agenda.
such as.
Your stance on abortion rights, for example.
Okay, so
Let me ask a question. What is your name?
Gene,
Gene. And what is your understanding of the current Republican Party's stance on federal intervention in abortion?
well, I know that they want to bring it back to the states, right?
So it sounds like you do know that the Republican Party's current stance on abortion is they're against a federal ban on abortion.
I do
And we're
understand
talking
that,
about a
yes.
presidential election as the
Yes.
important election that we're talking about here.
I understand that, yes.
Great. So, again, I think this open dialogue is great. I think it's great you're here challenging Charlie, and I think it's great that he's willing to travel campuses across this country to talk to the next generation. We need more conversation. Now, where's the disagreement, though, on content? Because you could criticize style or why you're talking to people
Listen,
or dunk
my-
on someone personally, but where do you actually disagree with
I
the
agree
substance?
with the way that you edit content and specifically frame it so that people look bad talking to you. You
What? I mean, do you see even the lady behind her? She's even, shaking her head like, no, that's not true. Oh, this is sad. She's just embarrassing herself, this young lady.
the way that you edit your content.
we post unedited content.
Let me just ask you one thing though, because personal insults can fly in all directions. Where is an area where you have a disagreement with the conservative movement, with Donald Trump, with Charlie Kirk, perhaps with myself? I was a presidential candidate last year. I think we need to talk about that more in the open, and the more we do, the stronger our country is going to be. We got a long line of people, but I want to hear from you one substantive area where you have an authentic disagreement, and I'd be glad to address it. I'm sure Charlie would too.
Just in any
Anything.
political.
Relating to any political topic where you have a disagreement. Let's air it.
Okay. I disagree with some of the laws that are being pushed in Congress that are against the LGBTQ community and the trans community.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I'm going to give you my view, and then I want to hear yours.
Okay.
My view is that if you're a fully grown adult, 18 or above, you're free to live how you want, dress how you want, marry who you want if you want, if you're
Okay.
over the age of 18.
I agree.
But you are not free to indoctrinate children in schools who are not yet of the age of consent. You are not free, just as you're a 17-year-old or a 15-year-old can't get a tattoo on their own, I don't think that you should be able to go or until the age of 18. And so the lines that I draw here is that men are free to claim to be women and swim in swimming pools. You're not free to claim trophies in a women's sports competition.
True.
You're not free to enter a women's locker room. You're not free to change a language. And you're not free to actually indoctrinate our children who are under the age of 5 in schools. Do we agree on the fact that adults should be able to live freely while still treating children differently? If so, we're on the same side of this issue.
Listen, I agree with the majority of what you said. However, I don't think that you're understanding the implications of the laws that are trying to be passed.
Look, we got a head start in the conversation. We got a long line behind you. But my only ask is, forget the personal attacks or the stylistic attacks. Focus on substance. The more we debate that, the stronger we're going to be as a country. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I don't think you're focusing on substance, though. That's the issue.
Hold on. Look, he intentionally tried to provoke substance out of you, and you said, well, I'm worried about some laws Congress should pass. I have to ask, what laws are you talking about?
Yeah.
Can you be specific?
I'm sorry, I'm very nervous, but this is what you do. This is what you do. You take people and you put them under the spotlight, and you.
Well, hold on. I didn't ask you to come up here. You voluntarily came to the front of the line. You didn't have to do that.
You're purposely antagonizing people on campus, asking
How?
people to come up by spreading your weird agenda.
How? What agenda is that? I'm confused, though.
So, Charlie, I'll say this. We'll end on this and we'll go to the next question. When I was 18, and I'm not going to blame you for this, I also took for granted a lot of the stuff that the media force-fed me, because that's what you know at the age of 18. You say there are some vague laws making their way through Congress that are hostile to trans community.
Know how?
I don't think those
do you
laws
know
actually
about,
exist, but I don't blame you
Listen
if
to
that's
me.
what the cable media is feeding you. But let's get to the specifics, and then we're able to actually have an open dialogue. And that's one of the things I've learned over the last 20 years.
I think that the
that's
issue
part
is
of-
we're getting our
part of
media
learning
from
our
different
country.
sources. Both people are getting media from these skewed sources. The facts that you're presenting are not always correct.
And that's why we're here with no TV screens between us. So people who have policy-based substantive disagreements, we invite those. I think that's how we're going to get our country back. And as it relates to trans, which you brought up, 18 or above, you're free to live how you want. You're not free to force that onto somebody else, or especially kids. And if we agree on
Thank
that,
you
we
very
make some
much.
progress.
Thank you.
Wow, that
Disagreement,
was
yeah.
very interesting. Yeah, the way Vivek, was able to calm it down and start a dialogue is extremely impressive. Yes, it's extremely impressive. This young lady just perfectly demonstrated that watching CNN, MN, MSNBC, ABC, The Veil, are a danger to a developing mind, This is actually sad. I mean, you wouldn't expect, a child or your daughter, whom you sent to school to come back with that, having that kind of a reasoning, It's just sad. I mean, it's terrible. She thinks the conservatives are wrong, but don't know why. Can you imagine? That's how brainwashed this generation has become, unfortunately. And it's terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, it's terrible. It's so funny that people, they don't even know why they hate Donald Trump, for example. You hear them, the liberal guys, they will tell you all sorts of things about Trump. He's evil, he's this, he's that, he's that. When you ask them, to give you substance, they can't tell you even one single thing. Clearly, as you have seen from the video, Vivek tried, to get her to, to speak, and to express yourself, well, and offer substance. She couldn't even, do that. It's sad, but it's reality. It's happening. You see? Somebody once said, if you want to make a Republican angry, tell him a lie. And if you want to make a Democrat angry, tell him the truth. Can you imagine? The times we'll now live in. It's sad. You would think, something that is basic knowledge, something that shouldn't be difficult for all to understand, should just be easily understood by everybody, but it's not the case. There are literally people who hate the truth. Just because it's true, they hate it. It's terrible. She doesn't really know why she disagrees with them. Clearly, she didn't know why she disagrees with them. And that's a big indicator that her belief system is not her own. Yeah. It's sad, but it's reality. I mean, Vivek handled that very well. Props to you, sir. You handled that very well. That was very impressive. I mean, she couldn't specify, or name anything that was wrong with the Republicans. All she said was something that is being passed in the Congress. And Charlie tried to, provoke her to name even one. She couldn't. All she said was, I disagree with you. Can you imagine? I think that if you can't defend your political stance, maybe you shouldn't be allowed to vote. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. Tell me what you think in the comment section, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next one. Bye bye for now.